Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Good morning. Very bright, sunny morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. So today we're going to the page that you're seeing right now is, if this page is not clear to you, then you can open your email and look at the pictures. Because sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. So this is actually page 53. It's telling us about the features of the pronoun. You remember the features of the pronoun? So it says what are the features? So category for pronouns. So you see that the possible value so far is it is an N, a noun, nominal, a noun, and it's subcat. There's subcat. Subcat is subcategorization. Can you hear me?
The audio is like scramble, dia ada bunyi-bunyi kat situ.
Bunyi kan? Macam
Dia macam
crackling. Can't hear very well.
Yes.
You cannot hear me very well? Yeah.
Like the sound is like overlapping. The crackling sound overlap your voice.
Oh. Okay, I'll go out and see what's check the setting. Yeah. Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam, doktor. Dengar.
Dengar. Dengar ya. Okay, dengar ya. Alright. Okay. Okay, so can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me now?
doctor. Much
Alright.
better.
Much better. Okay. So so actually the previous lesson we talked about the features of the pronoun. So in this table that you're seeing on page 53, Kani has given you a list of features. So one feature is category, and the category is noun, and it also has subcategorization. Subcat is subcategorization. It also allows for other features to come in. And what are the subcat? The details are first case. So you have case, nominative, subject position, remember, accusative, object position, possessive, my house or mine, that's possessive. And then you have agreement, alpha, agreement alpha. Alpha is just a symbol that they use. No, don't worry about that. So agreement. So then what are the features of agreement? There'll be gender. Gender will be male, female, neuter. There'll be number. Number will be first person, second person, third person. Singular and plural number. And then person. Person is first person, I. Second person, you. Third person, she, for example. Another feature that, and then it takes from that. So probably this agreement is actually a bundle of features. So then Kani gives you what is in gender. So these are the things in gender. What are the numbers, singular and plural, and personal. Person. First person speaker, second person addressee, third person non-participant. Okay, so so we noted down that him, for example. So this is an example of how we would present it in a feature notation. Okay, so we would have the category, and then we have the case here, and then the agreement features. Okay, so let's see what's next. This is also the example of how we will represent the features. Okay, so category, case, there's a case, and then the features that are involved. So we will look at this in a short while. And then, oh, this is already possessive pronoun. So let's say if I want to, did I open this? So I have to, sharing because I want to go into the okay. So if I want to do the so let's say I want to do a subcat. Of the pronoun him. So as we know, I saw him, for example. So him is in the object position, yeah. So then we say, okay, him. I'm doing the notation now. So I say what category him is. I'll say it's a noun. Subcat. Subcat. Class D. This one we will talk about this later. And then case. What is the case? And then agreement. Alpha. I can't find alpha, but we'll just say alpha, agreement alpha. Then we'll say gender. number, person. Okay, so then we have to insert some symbols, some drawings, shapes. So let's see. Okay, this one. This. That. That. So you can see I'm actually giving some structure to the notation by putting in the square brackets to show the boundaries, the separation. So something like this. Okay. Need to move up the but if you're drawing by pen and pencil, it's very, very fast lah. Something like that. And then you have, there should be a space for case. Case, as we know, I saw him, so case is accusative. Okay. So this is the so this is the subcategorization frame. This, yeah. This one should go a bit down. Let's see. Category a bit down. So something like that. So this is a way to represent what is thought of as something that's in our brain. You know, so when our brain store the word him, so our lexicon will actually have this representation in our brain about the word him. So him is a pronoun, and him has the feature of noun, and it has subcat plus D. And then in terms of case, him is accusative in the object position, and then the agreement alpha has a gender. So we can add to this gender, we can say gender. What is gender? So let me put this. So you say gender is male, number is one, okay. Yeah, number is singular, and person is third person. So you can add. Okay. This is an example of the feature notation for the pronoun him. Okay, so that's what. Okay, now maybe we can try. Um, we can try doing for, let's say, she, her, or she, she, our. Let's try to do try to draw subcategorization feature notation for pronoun she, I, our, and her. Okay. So let's see. So we want to do that now by looking at this. So the some of you will take she, some will take I, some will take our, some will take her. And then we try to draw feature subcategorization feature notation for our choice of pronoun based on this. Okay, based on this, and then we can look at the page that we saw just now, page 53, where Kani gives us a list of features that is possible for pronoun. So can we do that now? Let's take about 10 minutes from now. Do something like this. Maybe you want to also give a sentence, for example. So if you choose her, how would your sentence be? Or I. Okay, and then after 10 minutes, I would like to call 4 of you, those doing the representative pronouns, to show us your diagram for the subcategorization feature. Okay, so the first part will be the same. It's a noun, it's a subcat, but it's the second and the third part that will be different for the different pronouns. All right, so can we do that now? Okay, so all right. Any volunteers to show us your subcat feature for the pronoun? Any one of the pronoun?
Doctor, do you show one of them or
One, only one. Just
one?
take
Okay.
one. Yeah.
I think Aisha Hasra wants to do it first
Okay.
because she raised her hand just now.
Oh, she did. What? How did you see that?
There's a palm
Oh, I see.
symbol, but it's
Yeah.
gone now, so I'm not sure if she wants to show us or not.
Yes,
Who was
yes,
that?
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Aisha wants to.
Okay, so my pronoun is I.
Yeah.
So the category is a noun.
Aisha, can you share screen with us and show us your drawing?
Wait sekejap.
It's a bit blurry. Oh, I see,
Doctor,
because
can
you're
you
using
send
your
picture
laptop, kan?
instead?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
using
yeah,
my
you can send a
laptop.
picture. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay. I'll send it.
send a photo, yeah.
Doctor, I've just sent mine for hour.
You sent it to?
The meeting chat.
Meaning you can share with us, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, share.
Can I share screen? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, yeah.
Oh, share.
How do I do this? Oh, not this one, sorry. Oh my god, how do I do this? Oh, here we go. Okay, can anyone see this?
Yes.
Okay, where's my... This is what I did for hour.
So the sentence would be?
Oh, sorry.
No, you just can say it. A sentence.
This is our lecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is our lecture. So from that sentence, our shows possession lah. Right? Hak milik, possession. So yes, we can put under the case possessive. Category N, subcategory and then gender is our. Yeah. Gender is neuter because it can be male or female, kan?
Yeah.
Because in that sense lah, kan, it could either be. Tapi sebenarnya neuter is like, for example, pokok or kereta.
Okay.
Tak jantina, kan? Tetapi in this sense, gender.
Initially I put males, masculine / feminine, but are we allowed to do that?
I think you can do a male, and then space / female.
Okay.
And then you put a square bracket, and then you say in front of the square bracket plus or minus.
Oh, okay. So present or not?
Present or not. So and then kat dalam tu, in the square bracket, you already put slash, means either or, kan? Ataupun okay, either or. Okay, what we can do is either or. So it will be in the curly bracket. Tapi male will be first and then second is female. Curly bracket on both sides. And then it means either one of those values lah. And then kat outside we put plus / minus.
Doctor, is it okay if can you please
I'll show it later.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And then number is plural.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, number is plural. You. Did you say you? Our. Okay. Number is plural. Our is definitely at least 2 people, kan? Our cannot be one person. It has to be at least 2 people. So it's plural, and then person is first. Person is first.
Because you are saying it from your point of view.
It looks like second word because our is me and you.
Oh, okay.
Our lecture, me and you. So it's second person.
Alright. Sorry.
Kalau that pronoun, kalau in the subject position, we.
Oh, then it.
Be we.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In subject position, our is we. Yeah?
Alright.
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Doctor.
Thank you, Umo. That's a nice one. Yeah. Aisha, Siti Aisha, are you ready now?
Yes.
Okay.
I already sent it.
You sent it where? You can share the screen now.
Wait. Wait.
Who else is doing the other two?
Can you see it now?
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so the category for I is a noun with a noun, and the case is a nominal because it is not possessive nor what is the other one? Accusative. The AGR group it is a neutral because it doesn't represent male or female. The numeral is a singular because I refers to one person, and and it is a first person speaker.
Okay. Aisha, can you put your picture a bit higher? Because I have the bar.
Sorry.
Can I this? Oh. Right. Okay, good. Like just now.
So that's just basically what I think it is.
You need to put the terms like gender, number, and person. Like what? I think I don't know. I can't remember whether Umu did, but like my example.
Yes.
So before you write neuter, you say GEND.
Gender. Okay.
So gender is neuter, yes. Itulah that one also will apply to yours, like what Umu did. I'll show it later. Person number is singular, betul, and person is first person. Okay, good. Good. And then case is normative because it's always in the subject position. Yeah? Okay. Who's going to do the number 3 or number 4? Volunteer?
Yeah, I'm gonna do number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
But doctor, can I just show in my webcam because my laptop is lagging.
All right. See whether we can.
Okay. Hold on.
Was that Eunice just now?
No, it was Nurul Nur Atira. Atira Anwar.
Oh, Atirana.
Two minutes, doctor. I'm trying to upload it somewhere.
Any question from the rest? Like, anything you want to ask about this feature notation?
Not time. I'm just curious. Can you explain the part where it says subcat plus D?
That one. We will see in the next 2 pages. What that means. What plus D
Okay.
is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Doctor, can you?
Yeah. If you move it a bit, bawah sikit.
Kejap.
Okay, so this is her dress. Okay. This is her dress. So if you put it in a context like that, then this is her dress. So her would be possessive lah, kan? Atira, you want to explain your diagram?
Yes, doctor. I was talking with a mute microphone. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So this is her, my sentence. So if the category will be nouns and the subcategory is plus D, and then the case is possessive because the dress is belong to her, so I assume it's a possessive. And then the gender would be female, the number is single because there's only one, and then the person is the third person because we are talking about the other person, like that is a dress, like that. Yeah.
Well, okay, I saw that you also have I saw her.
Yeah, but it's not in proper way. So I did that. If I saw her, the case would be accusation.
Accusative.
Yeah, yeah,
So
accusative. And
if it's I saw her, her would be accusative because it's the object of the
yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
What about the rest?
the gender would be still female and number is still single, but the person I think is second.
No, it's still third.
Oh,
Number is third. Because I,
because
you, her. I, you, her. I is first person, you is second, her is third person. Still.
oh, okay. Because I thought because I'm the one who saw her, she become the second one.
That. First most of reference lah. When we say I, we are referring to ourselves.
Alright.
When we say you, second person to ourselves kan. Second person means the first person is me, second person is you. And then you say she or her, you're actually referring to another different person. So from the perspective of the speaker, first is the speaker, second is the addressee, and then the third is someone that they are talking about. Might be there, might not be there.
Oh,
So
okay.
third person lah.
Alright.
Okay. So yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Alright. Thank you,
Akira.
Doctor. Alright.
What's the last one? Who wants to do the last one?
Doctor, can I do? It's for she.
Yes. She. Okay. And you are?
Yeah, I present screen.
You are Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail.
Okay, Abigail.
Okay. Can you see, Doctor, the screen?
No, not yet. Right.
Okay.
But this is her.
Yeah. Okay.
My mother.
She is my mother.
Oh, she is my mother.
Yeah.
But you're going to talk about she, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so she is my mother. The category will be noun, subcat plus D. The case will be nominative. Okay, and then gender female, number singular, person first. It's supposed to be third person. Sorry.
It's supposed to be third person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Normative because
it's the subject of the sentence.
Because it's the subject of the sentence.
Yeah.
So notice that the subject of the sentence doesn't mean that it has to be first person. Like I said just now, a person is determined relative to the speaker. So
okay.
Relative to the speaker. So when you say she is my mother, you are telling someone, the second speaker, but you don't know who. You're telling someone that lady in the kitchen is your mother.
Okay.
So she is still a third person, even though she is in the subject position. Okay, good. Thanks, Abigail. I think that's quite clear, isn't it? Unless you have another question. Do you have any questions about that? So maybe the person, determination of person might be difficult. But if you think about speaker is I, the person who is talking to the speaker or listening to the speaker is you. Your And then the person aside from speaker, addressee, and the aside from that is the third person. Okay, so now I want to share the pages again. Page 55. So the photo which is marked page 55. So this is possessive, and then possessive is basically like just now lah, my house, your car. So consider yourself this following data. We find that you can have the suitcase, the big suitcase, and you notice that the and the big, it happens before the noun suitcase. And then you have every suitcase. Every also happens before the noun. You can also say every big suitcase. So that means the word, the quantifier word, every, and the adjective happens before the noun in English lah. And at the same time, you can also have my suitcase, where the pronoun, possessive pronoun, can happen before the noun, and you can, but you cannot have asterisk mark is so the asterisk mark is meaning ungrammatical. However, you cannot say the every suitcase. So the is a determiner, and then every is a quantifier. So notice that determiner, quantifier happening before the noun is ungrammatical. Tak boleh. Cannot happen. And then the same but different order. If you have the quantifier and then the determiner after the quantifier, also cannot. Meaning, if there is a determiner, anything like every cannot happen. So we see further the my suitcase. It's the same thing. Where you have the determiner, you cannot have the possessive pronoun. My the, also ungrammatical. And then my the suitcase, also ungrammatical, a pronoun and determiner. A quantifier and a possessive pronoun with a noun pun tak boleh. Possessive with quantifier. So we want to see what words can appear with the word suitcase. So we say, can both a determiner like the and every and an adjective big occur before suitcase, like the every big suitcase? The answer is no. So we can mark then no. Not very good with pictures, but I guess I should mark it with no. Question number 6. Can a possessive pronoun like my and an adjective occur before suitcase, like my big suitcase? My big suitcase, yes. So my big suitcase is yes. Can two determiners like the and every occur before suitcase? The answer just now we saw is no. The and every cannot happen with suitcase. Number 8. Can a determiner and a possessive pronoun occur together before suitcase? The my suitcase. No also. So question 9. What does the distribution described by question 5 and 8 tell us about the distribution of possessive pronouns? Are they anyway like adjectives or determiners? So in a sense, possessive pronoun is like determiners and adjectives because it can occur before the noun. My car, my suitcase can occur before the noun. However, it cannot occur with another determiner. Like possessive cannot occur with the And then for every, it depends, like you say, every my suitcase cannot, but what about my every suitcase? Like possible, huh? So just to say that the possessive pronoun behaves like a determiner. That is, it can occur before the noun. Okay, and then I'll go to the other picture. See. Okay. Okay, we go to page 56. I'm trying to get to page 56. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Wrong here. Okay. So now consider the following data. So We linguists love a good fight. How do you like them apples? In a non-standard speech, you clowns never know when to stop. And then you have the ungrammatical. You see in this generative syntax, you have the grammatical, but you also have the ungrammatical. And actually the ungrammatical tells you what cannot happen. And from there, you sort of can deduce. Remember the hypothesis? Then you can actually modify your hypothesis to reflect this behavior of these structures. So we can say we linguists, but we cannot say the we linguists love a good fight. We can say how do you like them apples? But you cannot say how do you like those them apples. So those is a demonstrative and a determiner, like the, and it cannot happen with them. However, in B, it can happen. The you clowns never know when to stop. The grammatical one is you clowns. You can say you clowns, but you cannot say the you clowns. So then this confirms the fact that the pronouns, the personal possessive pronoun, is just like other pronouns where it can be treated as a determiner, and it cannot happen with another determiner. So once we have we, it's not grammatical to have the. Once you have them, it's not grammatical to have those. And once you have you cannot put another determiner. Double determiner, like, it's not possible. It's ungrammatical. So then the discussion says the reason that we mark the pronominal subcategory with the feature value plus D is to evoke the fact. To evoke the fact means to represent the fact that there is some overlap between the distribution of pronouns and determiners. What is the overlap? The overlap is that it can happen before the noun. Okay, and so that can overlap, but the rest, they cannot happen together. That one is different. So now this is another kind of pronoun aside from the possessive just now. We have the reflexive pronouns. Reflexive is when it refers back to yourself. So I saw myself in the mirror, kan? Or I saw myself in the reflection of the water. So it is referring to self, myself. Or you can say he saw himself. So himself referring back to he. You saw yourself, referring back to you, subject. She saw herself, we saw ourselves, and you saw yourself. So in a sense, quite a number of the pronouns have the reflexive form. Kalau Melayu kita kata diri sendiri. Saya nampak diri saya sendiri, ya. Diri sendiri je lah. Then what about H? H says I saw herself. Cannot. Why is that cannot? I saw herself. You saw myself. Also cannot. He saw themselves. Also cannot. So meaning self has to refer back to the subject, and they have to agree. So let's say myself, my is a first person, has to refer to a first person pronoun. So a first person reflexive pronoun has to refer back to the pronoun that was its antecedent. Antecedent ni antecedent, C-E-D-E-N-T, antecedent. Antecedent is referring back to the so pronouns by itself will not have a reference. You have to refer to the antecedent noun. So in a sense, if you have a reflexive pronoun, it always refers to the antecedent pronoun or noun, usually a pronoun, and then it has to agree. That means myself agrees with I. Agree in sense of agree in terms of person. Myself refers to a pronoun which is first person, and then agree in terms of number. So myself, one single, refers to one single pronoun. That's why when you saw I saw herself in H, it is ungrammatical because herself is a third person reflexive, but it has to agree, it has to go and refer back to I, and I is a first person. So tak ngam, cannot go. So ungrammatical. You saw myself. So it's the same. Myself is a first person, going back to second person, cannot. And then he saw himself. So so this is the behavior of reflexive pronouns. These are called anaphors or reflexive pronouns. It ends with self or selves. So the ungrammaticality is because they have to make reference to the first noun, the subject. And that's why it is H, I, and J are ungrammatical. Okay. Now I want to go back to, I have to share again. Yes, I have to. So if you look at page 57 in your photo page, you see that. Okay, let's see if I can share this. All right. Okay, so this is the 57 for reflexive. So oh, sorry, too big. So anaphors or reflexive pronouns are a subcategory. Yeah. Yes.
You are we only see the file.
Oh, you don't see the picture?
No, this is the file. I think you only share the file.
Okay. You see? Can see not? Boleh nampak ke?
Nampak.
Okay. Thank you. So so the reflexive pronouns, anaphors, are a subcategory of nouns that behave in most ways like pronouns. Anywhere they, for example, anywhere they appear, a noun can appear. However, they cannot co-occur with determinants or adjectives. But they are more restricted in a sense that they can only appear in object position, can never appear in subject position. And they have to share the same agreement alpha features as the subject. The anaphors are indicated by the R plus R, which is a mnemonic mnemonic for reflexive. Value to the subcat feature. Here's the feature structure for self. So we see himself. So we have it is a noun. It's a subcat plus D because it can act as a determiner, and then plus R, which is the reflexive. And then it depends, like himself. He washed himself in the bathtub, let's say. So himself is at accusative object position. And then himself, gender masculine, number singular, and person third person. So this is how we represent the himself. So fill in the feature structure for yourself. Important hint, note that anaphors never appear in the nominative or possessive case. So be careful about the value, be careful about the value of the case feature. This is doing about yourself. So subcat will be plus D, plus R, reflexive N. And then case would be yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. So it's the accusative. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Notice that look is the verb. At is the preposition. And then you have yourself. At yourself. Look at yourself. So in a sense, it doesn't appear, yourself doesn't appear close to the verb, but it is closer to the preposition again. So object can also be object of preposition. So if I say, so object can also be object of preposition. So in this sense, look at yourself, yourself would have the accusative case because it's the object to the preposition. Kalau you note it down, the sample sentence is look at yourself. So you notice that if you write it down, you notice that verb is look, and then what is happened after look is preposition and the pronoun. So in this sense, the constituency, yourself is closer to at than look. So it is the object of the preposition. Therefore, it has the accusative case. So we can put here accusative, ACC. And then in terms of number is singular and person is yourself is second person. Second person. Okay, so after this, okay. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's share this. Okay. So 62. So 62, we're looking at, this is another chapter. It is unit 7, so I've skipped a few chapters. We look at, now we're talking about nouns. So nouns, actually before that they were talking about proper nouns. Proper nouns like names, Harleys, Rosenbaums. So notice that, yeah, I think I can pick it up later. Animate nouns. So what is animate nouns? Another subcategory that we can consider for nouns is animate nouns. So I think before the previous session, they were talking about there are proper nouns. There are nouns that refer to names of people. So proper nouns, name of building, name of places. The second part of this, they're talking about animate nouns. Animate nouns refer to living things. This class is a little trickier to identify since there is no obvious morphological mark of it in English. But we can find syntactic evidence for this group. So we look at some sentences. Start by evaluating the acceptability of the following sentences. Assume that nothing poetic or metaphorical is being asserted in the following forms. So literal meaning. Give each sentence an asterisk if it's bad. If it's bad, put an asterisk. And then put a question mark if it's not. If it's like like incredulous expression. If it's okay. You can look at. Oh, I see. Tapi tak apa. You can you reply to me now? I think you can, right? So you can actually tell me what. You can unmute your mic and tell me. Okay, so A. Peter sent an email to Dave. Is it ungrammatical? Okay. Ungrammatical? Incredulous? Question mark? Or okay? Okay, So Peter sent an email to Dave is okay. Okay. B. Peter sent Dave an email. Is this okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yes, good, thank you. So, okay. Peter sends a letter to Detroit.
Okay.
Any other comment?
I feel like it's not. It's it's vague. Could it be like Peter sent a letter over to Detroit? Is that better? Because Detroit is not someone who can personally receive. It's a place.
A place, like I sent a letter to KL.
Yeah.
Unless before that we've talked about someone living in KL.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but if let's say it's literal, kan kita assume nothing is poetic or metaphorical, it's literal. So Peter sent a letter to Detroit is like a question mark. Question mark because who is the receiver of the letter?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, so then number D. So we put a question mark for C. And then D. Peter sent Detroit a letter, where Detroit is a city and does not mean something like the Detroit office.
Question mark?
Detroit is a city. Question mark also.
Yeah.
The same as C. So C and D is question mark. Susan bought some flowers for her mother. Okay, This is okay. Susan bought some flowers for her mother. Okay. Susan bought her mother some flowers.
Okay.
Equally okay. Susan bought some flowers for her birthday.
Okay.
Okay. because it can mean that
She
Susan's
bought it for
birthday lah.
herself. Yeah.
For herself flowers. Susan bought her birthday some flowers.
No.
No,
Not
this is ungrammatical. Huh? So what happened is the discussion is that the A, Peter sent an email to Dave. The C, Peter sent a letter to Detroit. And E and G. These are known as prepositional ditransitive. There are cases where both an indirect object to Dave and direct object and email, where there is both an indirect object to Dave and a direct object email. So Peter sent a letter to Detroit. So you have the object that's being sent, and then you have to Detroit. So these are called ditransitive. The B, D, and F examples. The B, D, without the preposition, and F, no preposition. These are called dative construction. So in the dative construction, the indirect object comes first, and it's not marked with a preposition. So for example, Susan bought some flowers for her mother. Sunflowers tu tak ada. Sorry. Susan bought her mother sunflowers. So there's no preposition. Or Susan bought, or Peter sent Dave an email. B, Peter sent Dave an email. That is also dative construction, because the indirect objects come first. When you have two objects, let's say email Dave. So the verb that is directly after the verb is the direct object, and the next noun phrase, the next noun is indirect object. So in the dative, when there are two objects, the indirect objects come first, and it's not marked with a preposition. So notice that in the dative construction, the sentence is better when an indirect object refers to a person or indirect. In dative construction, like D, Peter sent Detroit a letter. It's better than dia kata apa sini 50. The sentence is better when an indirect object, the first noun after the verb, refers to a person or animate group. So let's say if you say Susan bought her mother some flowers, like in F here. So Susan bought her mother some flowers. So the first noun is an animate noun, so it's better. Okay. Proper noun. All right. So I'm going to share with you page 63. Please tell me if you can't hear me. Okay, I have photos here. Then I probably can. Tak boleh juga ya. I cannot. Sorry. I thought I can switch to one photo to another. Apparently not. I still have to go to this page. So it's 63, page 63 here. This is how the notation should be for proper nouns. Sometimes you wonder, why are we doing this? Because actually we have to specify the subcategorization for each word for the purpose of drawing the tree. When we draw the tree later, this subcategorization will be of use. We will use this in our, okay. So subcat is part of the derivation of the trees. So let's say it says, if you look at the photo, the subcategorization. So we will represent animate nouns with the subcat value of plus animate. So you notice that in the subcategory of Andrew, Andrew is a noun, and subcat is plus proper is proper noun, plus prop is plus proper is a proper noun, and then you have plus animate, which is a feature of just now talking about animals here. What about girl? So girl will have plus animate. We will add on animate to the nouns, the proper nouns. The nouns and the common nouns. So I have to go back to. Takkan I tak boleh. But there's a new button there. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Okay. Now I know. Now we can actually. Sorry. Okay. So this is page 65. And we are talking about kadang we are learning through it's a steep learning curve. It is kind of difficult at my age to start learning about technology and stuff, but I think I'm coping quite okay, except when the technology is failing me.
It's okay, Doctor. You're doing well.
So for nouns are like this. I'm actually cutting and choosing things to show you because it's from a book, and so it's a lot of pages, and it's not but things which are essential lah. So so the overall pattern is like this. For nouns, you actually specify whether it's a count noun or a mass noun. Count nouns are nouns which can be counted. So for example, books, pencils, things that can be counted lah. So if we are representing the feature notation for nouns, there will be a count feature there. So kita akan kata plus count or plus mass. So we notice that from our discussion that what is this? The overall pattern is that the determiner is required for singular, and then optional for plural, and then for count nouns, and then for mass noun is also optional. And then there is between the mass nouns you have much and many. You can say there's so much argument, let's say, or there's so much unhappiness here. There's so much unhappiness here. So that is a mass nouns. because you can't count happiness, but you can feel it. You can say so much unhappiness. So then it is under mass nouns, and you have the word much there. And then, but for the count nouns, you can actually say many. So there are many people here. So many.
Doctor, the screen is frozen.
Oh, the screen frozen.
It's
You cannot
at
see
the
my
file.
you cannot see my count.
No.
And my cursor.
No.
I think the screen sharing is only sharing the file there and not the whole screen.
Hi. I think dia frozen sikit. I tak tahu lah, maybe because we have come across cross over the 2-hour stage. I don't know. Has anyone had a lecture more than 2 hours using Microsoft Teams? Umo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, have you had any lectures which goes over 2 hours?
I think we did before. I think so.
It's okay,
Yeah, it's fine.
because it's like happening after the 2 hours. So, so we continue,
Okay.
So is this one P65? P65. Then you have every, which is okay for count nouns, but ungrammatical for count noun plural. So you can say every student, okay, but you cannot say every student. And you also cannot say every happiness or every salt, every sugar. Cannot, Several would be not used by singular, but used by plural, mass, count noun, but ungrammatical for mass noun. So, according to Kani, humans are very good at imagining situations different from the usual situation. As such, it isn't difficult to construct situations where we find count nouns functioning like mass nouns. For example, we know that cat is a count noun from the test that we have given before. But imagine a sci-fi movie, science fiction movie, where there were giant lizards. There were giant lizard people who like snacking on cats. You can imagine those felinivorous lizards announcing at dinner, "Tonight we have a fine dinner of cat served with peas." So, as disgusting as this may appear to many of us, we understand immediately that the lizards are eating cat, that the lizards are using cat as a mass noun. But that doesn't have to go to science fiction to find cases where we use nouns that can be used as both a mass and a count noun. So you can say that soda is filled with sugar, which is mass. I like 2 sugars in my coffee, please, which is count. So there are certain instances where we accept, we know sugar is inherently mass, but we can also use sugar for count for certain situations. So I'll have 2 sugar, please. So that already are counting. So maybe you can imagine that if the cube sugar where it is dense, presented in cubes. So I'll have 2 cubes of sugar, for example. Yeah. And then fire. Fire is a dangerous thing. And in this instance, fire is math. You can't count. But he had a fire in his fireplace. So a fire is count, 1 fire. So a is a specific definite determiner. So you can have a fire. So then it becomes a count. So in this instance, Kani is saying it also depends on the context. That you sometimes can have mass and sometimes can have count, depending on the sentence that you are analyzing. So it's not a orang kata apa?
We can't hear you, doctor.
Okay. So we continue with page 67. Yeah. Okay. Now, so this is page 67. So count plus or minus count is a value for the subcat, just like animate and plus proper. So the representation for girl would be the noun girl, category N, subcat, animate, count, and then agreement is number, singular. What about if you look at the exercise 7, it says, draw 2 feature structures for the word water. One is for the normal mass noun usage. The lake didn't have much water. This is mass. The other use will be for the count use. I drank the water. So the is actually referring to the definite water. So can we practice now and try to draw the difference between the lake didn't have much water. So we're looking at water. How do we draw a subcategorization feature notation for water in the lake didn't have much water versus I drank the water, which is a count. Okay, so before that, let me summarize. We have identified these subcategories for features for nouns, which is we can mark for proper nouns plus proper. We can indicate it is animate or inanimate, and we can have a plus count and a minus count. So then he adds on to the subcat feature from the first table just now that we saw on the first page of probably 43, I think, or 53, I can't remember, the first page, where you have the subcat and then he adds on the subcat plus D, plus prop, plus animate, plus count, and plus R. Yes, again. Okay, so now we want to take some time to try to, some of you can do the lake didn't have much water and I drank the water. So, so at least we're testing our understanding of what I've been talking about. Any volunteers aside from those who have done it just now? New volunteers. Choose participant. Where is it that I can see all the participants? Hide participant, dismiss, download.
At the call punya icons tu, the recorded icons, to the far right there's like a people icon. Yeah, you can press the show participants.
I already have there.
Okay.
Tetapi I nak tengok semua orang. Oh, I see. I can just scroll down.
Yes.
Down the thing. Okay. Tapi I can't see the pictures lah.
No.
27 of us. Let me see who I have not called upon. But the rest can also do, because you only learn by doing. I don't just watch, because later you have to do. So let's try Zijianyo. Can you do the first one, which is the mass, and then Pang Xiaozuen. Can you do the count one?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Pang Xiaozuen.
Excuse me, doctor.
Right, the rest also can do, yeah. So that you also can, then you can check your drawing based on the drawings of these two friends, and comment also.
Hello, doctor. Excuse me, doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. Would like to know if we are doing the whole set of the diagram, which
No,
means
just water. What is the subcategorization feature of water, which is a noun? Water is a noun, right? So now you do a feature notation of the features and subcat of noun of water. So we go back to page.
even for the agreement also and the
Agreement also, yes.
Okay.
How to do that? You go back and you see the context of the sentence.
Okay.
That means the context of the sentence. The lake didn't have much water in it, and then I drank the water. So obviously, in terms of position, it's the same. It's after the verb. So what is it in terms of case? So you could do a case. You can add subcat, whether animate or count or something.
Okay, understand. Thank you,
Okay, thanks. Okay, bye. We're doing page 67, exercise question 7.
Hello, doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'll show
Good.
my answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it? Can you see my answer?
Not yet. All right. So you need to write water at the top lah.
Okay.
Okay, and then category and subcat. Animate minus animate, yes.
But I'm not sure about the number. Is it plural or singular?
It's plural.
Okay.
It's plural, but it's just that it's not count. Minus count. Yeah. So minus animate, minus count. Let's see if I see. Any comments from others? Okay, I think this is okay.
Okay.
Because this is a common noun. Oh, I see. Yeah, so minus animate, minus count, plural. Okay? Okay.
Doctor,
Uh-huh.
can I ask?
Yes.
So for the animate or mass or count noun, is that there is no necessary for us to put the case?
I noticed that in the other example of noun, they don't put case. Only for pronoun.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we have put the negative count, should we put the positive mass or vice versa?
You plus, if it's a girl, let's say, you plus count. So in this sentence, the lake didn't have much water in it, then it is the mass one. So it's minus count or yeah, you sort of say plus or minus count or plus minus count.
All right.
So you can say plus count or minus count, and then if it's another sentence where it's open, then you say plus minus count. Okay, so let's see the other one. Yeah. Okay. The next diagram. Okay. This is for I drank the water. Water lah. Okay. You want to describe Pang, is it?
Yeah.
Pang. You want to describe your...
Okay, I drank the water. The water is a noun, and then it's a animate nouns and count nouns. For number, I think it's singular.
You're right. I drank the water means it's a glass of water lah. Stuck in some container kan. So it has a singular meaning lah. But for the animate, how is it plus animate?
Because it's a object, a thing.
Animate means living thing.
Water is not living thing.
Water is not living thing, yeah. Okay. So minus animate lah.
Alright.
Okay, so if you were to think about what's the difference between the two, what's the difference between the two? One is a count. We said one is a count, the other one is a minus count. Yang much water in the lake is a minus count, and then this is a plus count. And then this is a singular, the other one is a plural. Animate tu sebenarnya dua-dua minus animate lah, same lah. Dua-dua minus animate. Okay? Any question about this? Because we can proceed. Okay, so we can proceed to the next page, which is page 70. Can you finish? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So now we want to go to verbs, which is what they call transitivity. Subcategories of verbs. Okay, verbs. So with verbs, this is a different chapter, chapter 8, which is actually talking about verbs. But what we're going to talk about is argument structure. There's arguments and predicates and arguments. We want to see the subcategories of verbs and then the features. In the last unit, we actually subcategorized nouns, capturing the restriction they place on what words they can appear with. So for example, we saw that mass noun can appear with much and count noun with many. In this unit, we take a similar approach to the subcategorization of verbs, but it's a different, the concept is the same, but a different way. So a predicate is a verbal phrase, a predicate. Why don't we say a verb phrase? Because a verb phrase is a verb phrase, but a predicate can be a verb phrase, can be a noun phrase, can be an adjective phrase. So that's why he uses a predicate. So a predicate is anything that happens after the verb, after the subject. So Kelvin ate the stinky tuna. So the predicate is ate the stinking tuna. Okay. So a predicate expresses a relation between individuals in the world, which can be abstract. The entities involved in the predicate are known as the arguments. So for example, if you have this sentence 1, the verb ate is the predicate. The arguments are Kelvin and the stinky tuna. But basically, arguments are mostly nouns, but there are also prepositional phrase, which are arguments. So predicates are typically verbs, but they can involve other parts of speech. So we will focus on verbal predicates here. Arguments can be nouns like Kelvin, or determinants with nouns, and possibly modifiers like the stinky tuna. Modifiers means adjectives. So stinky tuna will have the determiner, adjective, and the noun. We'll call all of these structures determiner phrase or DPs. And this is very, very important because from now on, what he will do is he will treat noun phrase as DPs, determiner phrase. This comes into relevance, the question by Umo, who asked me why sometimes use noun phrase, why sometimes use determiner phrase. So in this framework that we're using, they do away with noun phrase. They actually use determiner phrase. So these structures, which are actually nouns, we call it determiner phrase, DPs acronym. Arguments can also be nouns and related structures marked with a preposition, which we call prepositional phrase or PPs. In the following sentence, sent is the predicate, In 2, Andrew sends a package to Dan. So sends is the predicate. The DP arguments, determinant phrase arguments, are Andrew, and also a package, and also Dan. So there are. So when we look at this, so we say there are how many arguments? One is Andrew, second one is package, third one is Dan. So there are 3 arguments. Sometimes they distinguish between internal arguments and external arguments. So when we talk about internal arguments, it's the arguments that are in the predicate. So in this sentence, there are 2 internal arguments, which is package and Dan. And then what about Andrew? Andrew is outside the predicate, so we call this external predicate. Andrew is external predicate. So then he says we can also find cases where embedded clauses, that means sentence within sentence, which we call complementizer phrases or CPs. Complementizer phrases, acronym CPs, serve as arguments. So for example, I thought that Kelvin ate the stinky tuna. I thought that Kelvin ate the stinky tuna. So that Kelvin ate the stinky tuna is actually the argument for the verb thought. Okay, because you can't say I thought. You must say something. I thought what? So I thought that Kelvin ate the stinky tuna. So this is actually the argument to the verb thought. But it is a complex argument. It's not just one element, it's many elements. In fact, it's actually a sentence. Kelvin ate the stinky tuna, a sentence, and then a complement, that. So it's called a CP. So that means arguments can be noun, determinant phrases, and also CPs. Okay. All right. We go on to page 71. So so exercise question 1. Identify the predicates, the arguments, and the adjuncts. What are adjuncts? We saw argument mostly determinant phrase or prepositional phrase, and they are very important to the verb, because if we don't have the argument, the verb will be ungrammatical. Let's say I say I wash my clothes, let's say, and then my clothes is the argument, right, to the verb wash. Let's say I don't say my argument, I just say I wash. I stop, I put a full stop after wash. Then that sentence is incomplete. So without the determinant phrase, my clothes, that sentence is not complete. So arguments are very important elements in the predicate, in the sentence. You must have the argument. So in fact it forms the core meaning of the sentence. Kalau tak ada argument, meaning tu tak complete. The absence of the argument will make the sentence incomplete. Now adjuncts are additional elements, meaning if we have it, it's okay. If we don't have it, it's okay also, because adjuncts are extra information. So let's say if I say macam ni. So I smile. Okay, let's just look at the sentence. I smile. So smile is a predicate. Yeah. And then I is the argument, external argument, which is the subject. And then question 8B, 1B, Susan kissed Kelvin with too much lipstick. So predicate is kiss, Kelvin is an argument, and then this with too much lipstick is a preposition phrase. With is a preposition. So this whole thing is a preposition phrase. And then Susan is the argument, the subject, external argument. So you notice that in sentence B, I could say Susan kissed Kelvin, full stop. And it's grammatical. Betul tak? So with too much lipstick is an adjunct. It's additional information. So you notice that if I say Susan kissed Kelvin with too much lipstick, it's okay, grammatical. And if I say Susan kissed Kelvin, full stop, it's also grammatical. So with too much lipstick, it's an adjunct. It is an adjunct because it is additional information. Usually, the function it is with a preposition phrase. Tetapi dalam at the sentence level is an adverbial. Okay, so what about C? Pangur hit art with the cat toy. In this instance, you notice that somehow if I say Pangur hit art, I feel that it's not complete, you know. So Pangur hit art with the cat toy. Okay, so that means art is definitely an argument of the verb hit. Also, the prepositional phrase with the toy cat is an argument to hit. Because only if we say with the toy cat, the sentence will be complete. However, if we say Pangur hit art, macam tak complete kat situ kan? It's not complete. So we need to have the whole thing. So in this instance, with the cat toy is a argument. So hit has two internal arguments, art and with the cat toy, and an external argument. I guess it's natural to say what to compare between C and B because they look alike. In the sense, with too much lipstick is a preposition phrase, and then with the toy cat, the cat toy is a preposition phrase. But the function is different here for B. B with too much lipstick is a adjunct. In C, with the toy cat is an argument. So we need to understand the meaning of the sentence to think about, is it essential, is it an argument, or is it optional, is it an adjunct? Okay, let's look at D. I passed Dave the beef waffles last week. So, of course, pass is the predicate. An argument, look at the DP or the noun phrase. Dave is the DP, the beef is the DP, the beef waffles is the DP. What about last week? Is it an argument or an adjunct? So we do the test. We say, I passed Dave the beef waffles. Full stop. Seems okay, huh? I could say, I passed Dave the beef waffles, yeah. So, and equally okay if I say, I passed Dave the beef waffles last week. So both are okay. So last week is a adjunct, is a additional information. Okay. Any question on that? Okay, argument structures. One traditional way to subcategorize verbs is to make reference to the number of arguments they take. This is known as the verb's valency. A verb that takes one argument is said to be intransitive. Those that take two arguments are transitive, and those that take three arguments are ditransitive. So we look at question number 2. Identify if the following verbs are intransitive, transitive, or ditransitive based on the sentences given there. Note that adjuncts do not count in determining transitivity. So adjuncts are additional information. They are not important element of the predicate. So smile. If you think about I smile, I think it's this one. So when we talk about transitivity, we look back to this question 1, I smile. So you notice that after the verb, there's no object. I smile. It's only the external object, no internal object. So smile is an intransitive verb. Intransitive. Because we talk about transitivity, we're talking about, is there an object after it? So I smile, no object. So this is intransitive. Susan kissed Kelvin with too much lipstick. Susan kissed Kelvin. So there is an object. So this is a transitive sentence. Okay. Pangur hit Art with the toy cat. So this is a transitive, but it has two arguments. The argument is Art and the argument is with the toy cat. So it is a ditransitive. Ditransitive. The same with I passed Dave the beef waffles. Also ditransitive because it has the Dave as the argument, DP, and also the beef waffles as the argument DP. So pass is a ditransitive verb. So we've done this. Any question about this? Anyone want to ask any question? So I strongly recommend that you go back and you read. You read the pages that we've done. Make sure you understand. Don't understand, next class you ask me, or you can always put it on the. I'll put up a forum for this class, and then you can always ask me a question on that, and then I can answer it, and then others can see it also. So I'll open it up. So the comment, while the notions of transitivity are useful descriptive abbreviation in most cases, syntacticians, people like us who analyze sentences, need a more fine-grained notation. For example, we want to be able to distinguish between verbs like ask, which allow either a DP or a CP as one of its arguments, from a verb like hit, which requires that the argument that follows a DP and never a CP. So what we've been discussing about transitivity is a feature of the verb. So we need to distinguish that. Okay. So we're going to go to the next page. This is page 72. Okay. Okay, so then Khani gives us a few examples. I asked the question. I asked if you knew the answer. Both are okay. 8A is okay, 8B is okay. What does that mean? It means that ask can take a DP argument, can also take a CP argument if you knew the answer. Complement phrase. Okay, let's look at 9. I hit the ball. I hit that you knew the answer. So I hit the ball is grammatical. So hit can also take a DP. However, this 9A is ungrammatical. So that means hit cannot take a CP. So we will distinguish external arguments that occurs outside of the predicate from those that come after the verb. Okay, we will use the feature, external feature for the subject, which is outside the predicate. And then we will use the internal feature, internal for the arguments in the predicate. So these are both of these features are values of the subcat feature. So take for example, the verb laugh. The verb laugh requires that its subject be capable of laughing. Leaving aside poetic usages, it is only possible when the subject is a plus animate. Furthermore, the subject argument of laugh must be a DP. A partial feature for laugh is category, B, verb, subcat. It requires an external argument. Because imagine a sentence like she laughs. She laughs. She laughs is a intransitive verb. because you don't have an object after that. Huh? Like for example, she laughs, full stop, no object. So laugh is an intransitive. So laugh is a verb where the subcategorical properties, it has an external argument, and the external argument must be animate, must be able to laugh, must be alive. Huh? So what we do is we say, okay, subcat verb, and then it's an external, it has an external DP. So we write there external DP, and that external DP must have a plus animate. Other verbs have other external properties. For example, the verb bother can either take a DP like 11a. Undercooked beef waffles bother John. So apparently, it takes the DP. So external argument DP. Or CP, that Susan baked her beef waffles bothers John. So this instance where the CP can also be the external argument. With butter and jam bothers John. A bit dialectal, but it is marked as grammatical. So when there is a choice between two categories, we use the notation of a pair of curly brackets around the choices. So the value of the external feature is DP or CP for bother. You can take a DP or a CP or even a PP. DP or CP. So internal. So this is an external argument. What about internal arguments? So internal arguments are basically the arguments in the predicate. So take the example of bother again. The object of this verb must be animate and must be a DP. So let's see. So you notice that again bother. Yeah, you can have uncooked beef waffles bother the stone. Ungrammatical, huh? Uncooked beef waffles bother that the man left also cannot. So that means uncooked beef waffles is an inanimate argument, external argument. So bother cannot take a inanimate external argument. The external argument, which is the subject, has to be a animate. So these two sentences show that the subject must be animate. So this is the subcat for bother. Bother is a verb. Bother takes an external DP, determiner phrase, or a CP. Oh, I see. It's showing like this. And then subcat, and then it also takes an internal DP, which is a plus animate. Now consider 14. Dia bagi lagi the di-transitive. Two examples. This time with di-transitive verbs. Di-transitive, I put the book on the table. Two arguments, so di-transitive. What about if there's two arguments? And pula, we cannot say I put the book on the table. That means the order has to be the book first and then on the table. You cannot put the preposition. Oh, I see. You cannot put, it has to be a PP. The DP and a PP. PP is a preposition phrase. Huh? So in 14a, the argument is the DP and also the PP. Preposition phrase on the table. And these are required elements, okay? Because you cannot put, I put the book the table. I put the book the table is a DP. A DP tak boleh for put. Satu mesti DP, satu PP. Okay. So this is put. Where we actually say put category V, subcat, external DP must be an animate, internal DP. The order has to be DP, PP. Yeah. Very quick one. Contrast this with the verb give. I gave the book to Chris. I gave Chris the book. In give, it's okay to have DP, PP, and DP, DP. Betul? Right? So then the subcat for give is this. External argument, tapi internal argument ni. So it can be, you can have a DP, PP, or you can have a DP, DP. So these are the ways of apa tu? Specifying. Alright? Okay, so actually we've sort of done the noun phrase and the verb phrase, right? So we can actually analyze the sentence. So you can say, I ate an apple. Let's say the sentence. Letak kat sini. Kat chat. I ate an apple. Let's see lah macam ni. So I ate an apple like this. I ate an apple. So we can actually now specify each of the word. I can specify. I can do a speech, a subcategorization feature notation for I. I can do a subcategorization feature of it, and I can do a subcategorization feature of an apple. Do you agree with me? You setuju tak? We can, right? Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes. So for this sentence, we can do 3 subcategorization feature. One is for the pronoun, one is for the verb, and the other one is for the apple. So try doing that. After you finish reading the verb, you try to do this sentence. I ate an apple. And see, then leave it. Once you do the subcat, first I first, and then second ate, and then third an apple. The next class will show you how to combine them. Okay, so I think with any burning question, I think we've done it's been a long day for you, 3 hours. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, and we'll see you next week. And I'll open up in the iFolio. Yes.
It's not about, I have a question, but it's not pertaining to the things that we learned today sangat.
Okay.
Is it okay for me to ask?
Can.
When analyzing the language analysis that we have to do tu,
Yeah.
I'm troubled with the word lah.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, wait, hold on, let me just go back.
No, don't be troubled. Just add color to the language, lah.
Yeah, I know, but like, what can it be categorized as? Because when me and my Atika search for it, it's Dewan Tata Bahasa Dewan cakap Allah is kata penegas.
Yeah.
Or a particle. So is it considered as one free morpheme?
Okay, this word is a penegas, betul, penegas, and actually a particle. Dalam bahasa Melayu, you can have lah, kah,
yes,
itu semua particle. So actually, they will belong to a big class, which is called functional class, function word.
Okay.
So probably next time we will talk about function word.
All right.
Briefly. So so next time is the time where we have the quiz, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very short quiz, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes lah. So it's going to be just 1 or 2 questions because I want to get on with the lecture. So what is it on? I'll just base it on the syntax 1. Remember syntax 1 lecture?
Yeah.
I call this syntax 2 lecture. Syntax 1 is the one before this lecture, where we talk about basic concepts about hypothesis. So we just read that. That's for the quiz. Okay, so we're just going to do that quiz, and then we continue with the lecture. All right, so thank you so much for your questions, your time and attention. Have a good day. I will put this recording so you can actually look back. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.